What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock, what you should be looking out for the future. I'm also going to break down why under tomorrow is going to be a very important day as we have PCE data coming out. So I'm going to break down how that could end up affecting NIO, what's going on with NIO's share price, why under NIO is popping the way it is, and why you should still be very careful despite the nice moves we're seeing in the markets. Now, before I break anything down about the markets, before I talk about why tomorrow is going to be a big day, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Make sure you take none of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $3,000. And the best part is, any could be a free NIO share. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends in just 1 week. Check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. NIO is up about 5% for the day, and that's because of two main things. There wasn't really a big piece of news coming out for just NIO in itself, other than the fact that some big banks out there are giving NIO some very good buy ratings. I did actually mention this yesterday. I think Piper Sandler was bullish on both Tesla and NIO, and so was Morgan Stanley, saying that they could see 50% volume growth in 2023. And they also said similar things about NIO. But we also saw more analysts projecting that NIO could also see about 50+% growth, not to mention a 130% increase in their share price, right? Now, on top of that, for Tesla also killed it during their earnings. They beat on earnings per share. They also beat on revenue. So very, very impressive earnings. Elon Musk did say things that the market absolutely loved to hear. He also mentioned that Tesla's stock price could be unpredictable for the short term, but for the longer term, they're bullish. And because Tesla did so well, I mean, I could go on forever about it, but they did very, very well when it came to their AI technology, the developments that they've made, progress when it comes to deliveries, and the projections which are going to be very strong. So the whole EV sector is now pushing up. Elon Musk also said he's very impressed by many of the Chinese manufacturers. That includes NIO. He said, he's very impressed with what they're doing. They're very competitive, and he's very, very sure that they're going to be very successful going forward. So for tomorrow, this is what I wanted to actually talk about. We have PCE data coming out, and you have to remember this because this is also going to be a very important piece of data. Yes, the market's popping right now, but things could change on a dime, and that's why you have to be very careful. PCE is one of the most accepted Fed inflationary measures, and it's coming out tomorrow, 1 hour before the market opens. Remember, we have the FOMC meeting on the 1st of February. That's the main day of it. It's going to be very important as well because the Fed is likely going to be giving us big answers about what they're planning on doing for the future, the rate hike decision, and other important factors like that. Now, right now, the market's expecting the Fed to give us a 25 basis point rate hike. It's very likely that they could do that, or they could even be more hawkish and surprise the markets. When it comes to NIO's data, NIO so far is not doing like crazy well. I mean, we are up 5%, but the volume is still only 44 million. So we're not pumping on higher than average volume. So that's just an okay sign, not the best of signs. I do expect this short volume to come down so that the longs and people buying into the stock have the edge over it. Right now, the price-price ratio is likely going to continue to increase just a little bit, but we have to be very careful with FOMC coming up in less than a week, not to mention PCE data tomorrow. NIO short interest is pretty flat, but if the shorts start piling in, I'd be very careful. So now what's going on with NIO's share price? I want to mention to everyone, we have PCE coming out tomorrow. Okay, why is this so important? Because look at this. On SPY, this is the SPY chart. On the 1st of December, this is what marks one of the tops on SPY. PCE came out. It was better than expected, good data, and yet the market ended up dropping. Right, we dropped pretty hard. SPY went from 408 all the way down to 390 in just a couple of days. Then we rebounded a bit off the CPI news, and then the FOMC meeting came, and then the market just tumbled down from 408 all the way down to 374. Okay? My point is the market could make a big U-turn when people least expect it. People thought the market would explode from here. It would just go to the absolute moon. Well, we ended up reversing because of the Fed. And the same thing could happen again. We have to be very, very careful. This is looking, as of right now, the candle is looking a little bit more bullish, but this could change. We just have to wait and see. I just want to note for NIO, I believe that when you look at the VIX, it's suggesting, depending on where it closes, it's actually suggesting that the market might push up a little bit more, maybe even tomorrow into open, maybe depending on where this closes. The VIX is getting close to filling this gap. It's at 18.33. We're at 18.79. So maybe we fill it today. If we don't fill it today, then we could fill it tomorrow. But then I expect the VIX to start bouncing soon. All right? Which means the market could start coming down. On the NASDAQ, I mentioned to you all, yes, we have this head and shoulders like formation. We have a rising wedge that's forming. But as long as we don't break above the purple line, the head and shoulders is still valid, technically. So if we break the purple line tomorrow, maybe, if we do, then we could invalidate this head and shoulders. But if we fail, if we actually reverse tomorrow or the day after, or if we fail directly at it, then this could still be valid and the market could still end up seeing the NASDAQ coming down, which could bring down NIO and etc. On SPY, don't forget, we have the head and shoulders forming on SPY. And we also have another rising wedge-like pattern. This thing could continue to push. It actually entered my zone. I told you guys. I think we're going to top somewhere between 402 and 406, maybe a little bit higher. Who knows? As long as we don't break and hold above like 410, the trap is still very possible, the bull trap. Now, the reason why I'm concerned, okay, I am still concerned about this, is because we have a potential, a very big and keen looking bearish divergence that's developing on SPY, on SPY. If you look at the hourly, right here, we have a bearish divergence. We also have the same thing from this end to here. We're making higher highs on the chart, but the RSI is actually not as high. Be very careful here, guys. Yes, we could pop tomorrow depending on PCE. That's why it's a very important day. But the last time PCE came out, the market started downtrending pretty hard. So even though it was a beat, even though the data was better than what we wanted and showing inflation was lower, the market still ended up dropping. So be very careful. For tomorrow, the market might pop. I'm thinking we might pop a little more. We're gonna most likely form a top somewhere here. Somewhere here, there's going to be a top that forms between now and the FOMC meeting, in my opinion. And then the market's going to start downtrending, in my opinion, at least according to technicals. Now, if we break 410 and start pushing above that, you will change my mind. But as of right now, we haven't done it, which is why I'm still very, very cautious. For NIO, if the market pops tomorrow, yes, NIO could push up a little more. Right, our next major resistance is at about 12.43 to 12.5, this zone right here. I would say closer to about 12.5. Break above that, then 13 could come, right? But if the market starts downtrending over the next couple of days, NIO has the gap down here in the 11s. We have another gap in the low 11s. We have another gap in the 10s, the low 10s. And I think there's another one even lower. Oh, no, there isn't. So we have 3 gaps below us. Be very careful. We know NIO likes to fill those gaps. But I just want to note to everyone, okay? We might pop tomorrow depending on the data. NIO could. If it breaks 12.5, yes, this thing can push to 13 to 13.18. If it comes down, okay, we have to hold 11.8. If we don't hold 11.8, I expect the gap to get filled and NIO to come all the way down to the mid 11s. All right? So be very careful tomorrow. Wait for the data. Be patient. Do not chase. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you all so much for listening. I really appreciate everyone. Remain calm, cool, and collected. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you. NIO to the moon, because the long-term future is still very bright. And peace out.